we are going to do some cleaning up because these transgenerational planets will be moving all the way back and all the way forwards. It's time to begin recognizing where those things are still messed up. Highlighting the importance of relational context, relativity, because Mars, again, is in Libra, and that's also about relating to something. So we cannot simply see actions in an isolated way. We do have to consider the relational context. And I think that's what makes it so tricky, because that moon right now wants to be so objective and find the one objective truth, and may be confronted with the fact that it's always influenced by your ego. You cannot have an objective truth that is not influenced by your own ego. So for example, think about someone donating money, and they might be donating a really large sum of money. It's like hundreds of thousands of euros. On the first glance, if we just take that as a fact, like of how much money that is, it might seem like that's a very generous act. That is just a deed of love. We are very fast to simply applaud, congratulate, and then even reward, with like a trophy or being given a cool title, or just, people being like in awe of that. So then giving that person a lot of perceived generosity, and that person will become more perceived sympathetically, and that brings a lot of, other rewarding things in life. But if we take that into the relational context, the relativity, we also have to consider how much does that person own? How much does that person have? Because if somebody has 100,000 and they give 99,000, that is a huge, huge portion of what they own. That is almost everything. That's like 99%, that's almost everything they have, and they're keeping only a very small portion for themselves. That may be considered extremely generous. Now think of that same sum, 99,000, not for someone who has 100,000, but someone who has 78 billion. Now all of a sudden that 99,000 in comparison to the 78 billion is not such a large sum. It's not a big portion of what they have. Is that person still generous? Yes, they are. But are they as generous as the other person who gave 99,000? No, they're not equally as generous. We don't notice that if we stay stuck on the level of facts and numbers without comparing things and understanding the relativity. It's important to remember that we can easily distort the facts when we leave out important context. And what that does is it enables us to then make further and further decisions that are all based on that previous assessment.